Hello, my name is Amber Rose. I'm a model and entrepreneur. Thank you. But most importantly, I'm a mother. My whole world revolves around providing for my children, keeping them safe, and giving them an opportunity for a better life. That's something that unites all American parents, whether we're Republicans, Democrats, conservatives, or liberals. We all want a better country for our children.
This is Amber Rose, the model, entrepreneur, and philanthropist that spoke at the RNC. So Amber Rose gets a lot of slack. In this video, I'm going to share some clips from the Candace Owens, Amber Rose interview. But one of the things I want to highlight here is whenever I've heard Amber Rose on any kind of platform, whether that was social audio or interviews on YouTube, she's always been someone that struck me as down to earth. Okay, whenever I think about her and the things that she speaks about, I've always gotten this down to earth feel, from her conversations. And the conversation that she recently had with Candace Owens is no different. And I learned a couple of things in that video. One of the things that she talked about is the misconceptions with her relationship with Kanye West, some details there I'm going to share in this video. And another thing to point out, even when you think about Hollywood and what Hollywood means to some individuals, what Hollywood meant to, let's say, a Russell Brand, or what Hollywood means to Amber Rose, now that she's experienced it and she's trying to find ways to get out of it, as she mentions in a full interview. I'm going to link the interview in the description below. But what I want to share here, first and foremost, is a conversation that, the speech that she had at RNC. If you haven't seen it yet, I think it's something worth watching with an open mind, and we'll share some additional things later in this video.
Hello, my name is Amber Rose. I'm a model and entrepreneur. Thank you. But most importantly, I'm a mother. My whole world revolves around providing for my children, keeping them safe, and giving them an opportunity for a better life. That's something that unites all American parents, whether we're Republicans, Democrats, conservatives, or liberals. We all want a better country for our children. But I'm here tonight to tell you, no matter your political background, that the best chance we have to give our babies a better life is to elect Donald Trump President of the United States. Now, you may be wondering why I'm up here telling you this. I'm no politician, and I don't want to be. But I do care about the truth. And the truth is that the media has lied to us about Donald Trump. I know this because for a long time I believed those lies. So I'm here to set the record straight. The first person I knew who supported Donald Trump was my father. I was shocked. My entire family is racially diverse. And I believed the left-wing propaganda that Donald Trump was a racist. My father said, "No, he's not, Amber. What are you talking about?" And when I insisted, he said, "Prove it." So to prove my father wrong, I did my research and looked into all things Donald Trump. People have to do their research. I watched all the rallies, and I started meeting so many of you, his red hat wearing supporters. I realized Donald Trump and his supporters don't care if you're black, white, gay, or straight. It's all love. And that's when it hit me. These are my people. This is where I belong. So I let go of my fear of judgment, of being misunderstood, of getting attacked by the left, and I put the red hat on too. Thank you. Love you too. I never felt more free and more love for my country than I do now. I want to thank my father, who's in the audience tonight, for opening my eyes. He served over 20 years in the U.S. military. Thank you for your service, Dad. Where's he at? I love you, Dad. I love you. I love you so much. Thank you. When I met the president and Melania for the first time, he was kind and generous and funny as hell. Very funny. The First Lady was gracious and smart with a smile that will brighten up any room. If you're watching this tonight, you know our country is in trouble. Just like me. When you go to the store and buy food for your family, you're shocked. When you fill up your gas tank, you're pissed. I know I am. And when you turn on the news, you are just exhausted. Inflation is out of control. And you know in your heart it was not like this under Donald Trump. My message to you tonight comes from a humble place. The left told me to hate Trump, and even worse, to hate the other side, the people who support him. When you cut through the lies, you realize the truth. American families were better when Donald Trump was president. We were safer, wealthier, and stronger. A vote for Donald Trump is a vote to put money back in our pockets and good food on our kids' plates. Yes. Or, as Trump would say, it's a vote to make America great again. Thank you so much.
Now, I think that's a pretty sensible speech. She shared her thoughts, and one of the things that she shared in her Candace Owens interview is that she had someone that helped her with the speech to make sure it was her own words, right? That's extremely important. And of course, they structured it in such a way that, you know, it's relatable to not only the audience, but it speaks to who she is. And all of these individuals who speak, senators, dignitaries, they all have a team of speech writers. I don't know if that's the official term, but they do have individuals that do help them with the speeches. But I thought that was a pretty sensible speech. I know the internet, you know, just went crazy about the speech. You know, why was she there? You know, who does she represent? Does she remember where she came from? Yeah, she really does remember where she came from. So one of the clips that I thought was interesting is when the SlutWalk conversation came up, these are the words that she had to say about that.
So when you see that, and I will, granted, look, end of it's funny-ish.
It is funny. Yeah.
How does it make you feel?
A part of it I am not proud of. Another part of it I agree with. And the part that I do agree with is that there are a lot of girls in high school or college, right, young girls, that are literally called derogatory names for no reason at all. They're not even doing anything. I was one of those girls. I was a late bloomer. My kids are 11 and 4. I have friends that have like 25-year-olds. So, you know, I do think that sometimes that is an issue where you bully girls because you're insecure, or maybe she might like another boy or something like that. So that was one piece in there, if I'm not mistaken, where the girl said that, but then she said dick or badge or whatever, who cares, or something like that. That's the only thing I still do agree with, but the other stuff I just, and you know what, Candace, too, listen, when it comes to sex workers, I'm still for sex workers. And when I say that, I mean that I understand it's not easy to just say, stop. Don't do this anymore. You're better than this, right? We can all say that all day, but there has to be a solution for why they should stop, you know, or maybe the money that they did make through sex work, or the umbrella of sex work, like stripping and stuff, which is not actually sex, and create businesses for themselves or something like that, you know? So I I have empathy for women like that because I was that girl. My dreams and aspirations in life were not to be a dancer. Um, but I grew up poor and my mom had mental health issues and, we were homeless when I was really young. And my neighborhood was drug dealers and strippers, you know? So that was my lifelong dream. And then when I became famous, everyone just pointed the finger at me and was like, you used to be a stripper. We remember you, you know? And then that made like the whole internet and stuff. And then I had to just live with that. And over time, I embraced it with my SlutWalk because it was the only way to survive. I was like in survival mode.
There's a lot of misconceptions about Amber Rose's relationship with Kanye West, details about that relationship, who met who, what was she doing during the time that she met Kanye, did Kanye know, et cetera, et cetera. So in this interview with Candace Owens and Amber Rose, she clears all those things up, which is why I always loved being someone who really researched things and hear it from the person first before creating any rumors or any narratives around those things. I think is extremely important. So listen to what Amber Rose had to say about the humble beginnings of her and Kanye West.
See, this is very interesting. So for those who were not introduced to Amber Rose before the RNC, Amber Rose was introduced to the world because you were dating Kanye West.
Yes,
and it
15 years ago.
15 years ago, and it became this big thing. Kanye West is dating a stripper, and suddenly you became famous, like basically overnight.
Yeah.
Well,
he didn't know that I was a stripper at all.
Oh,
when he met me.
I didn't know this.
So the misconception is that he met me at the strip club.
I thought that my whole life until right now.
No, he never met me at the strip club. I was actually a model. I was signed with Ford Models. I got booked for a music video called RoboCop on 808 and Heartbreaks.
Okay.
Although that album is not about me. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy is about me. That's also another misconception. That's about his ex-fiance. So I got booked for a job, and then we fell in love, and we were together for like 2 years.
Yeah.
It was a good time, and it was a great time in pop culture, and we really did have a lot of fun for a long time. But yes, he did not meet me in the strip club. So when me and him started to get to know each other, I was like, hey, I just want to be honest because I could tell that we had feelings for each other. I am actually a dancer back in the Bronx. I lived in the Bronx at the time. Funny, me and Cardi worked at the same spot, just different times because I'm older than her.
Oh.
And he was like, I don't care. I just want to be with you. I don't even care that you were a dancer. That doesn't even bother me, And he was really great about it. He just really didn't care because I felt like he just knew my heart. He knew who I was as a person. So yeah, so go ahead. But that's how it all
I'm so glad you
started.
clarified that. And so which is really funny because you got branded as a stripper. When he met you, you weren't even stripping, but I was
stripping, but he didn't know that I was a stripper.
He didn't know you were a stripper.
So I was a model, but I wasn't a Bella Hadid. I wasn't a famous model. I just happened to be signed to a big agency, but I wasn't getting a lot of work like that. So I still had to dance and money back to my mom in Philly, my family. So that's why I was still dancing in the Bronx. But he didn't meet me there. He met me because I booked his music video.
Got it. Okay.
Right.
So have you ever felt that you're always being lied to, especially with mainstream media? There's a lot of information that comes from mainstream media, whether it's channel 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, 11, maybe 13, that you're always wondering, are they telling you the truth? Are they manipulating you and things of that nature? Well, you're not alone because I feel the same way, which is why my team put together 12 rules for propaganda. If you never understood what propaganda does to the brain or how propaganda changes nations, it is one essential read. 12 Rules for Propaganda is available now on Amazon, and I will link it in the description below. And last but not least, Hollywood, right? When you hear Hollywood or individuals talk about Hollywood, some people speak about it in a positive light, but the more and more we see the industry, we hear things about the industry, it is a totally other opinion and even experience. And we're speaking about Amber Rose, her own experiences in Hollywood, and she had some interesting take. Listen to this.
She's a stripper. And actually, what I felt the industry did was they tried to turn her into like the ultimate stripper. They were like, no, you're still, you have to be the stripper.
No, babe, it's not her fault. They don't let you. They don't let you move forward. I think this is why, like, I'm 40 now, and this is why I don't give a anymore. Like, I don't care. I'm gonna speak at the RNC. I'm gonna speak at my on my Instagram. I'm gonna say how I feel about things, and I'm not gonna hold back anymore because the industry does do that to women, especially women that come from nothing, like somebody like me and Cardi B. Um, they intimidate you with the fact that you'll eventually be back there with nothing. And that's how it's been for the 15 years that I've been famous. And so it's like, you have to do this. You have to twerk on Instagram. You have to go viral. You know, if the more followers you get, the more endorsement deals you get, which in turn gives you more money to support your family.
Who specifically is giving you that directive?
It's everyone.
And that's it here. And I hope you enjoyed this reaction video. A couple of final thoughts. I think the interview was really, really well done. And great interviews just allow people to speak and then they speak later. So if you really pay attention to how Candace Owens does her interview, she really takes the time to listen to what people have to say that she brings on to her platform, let them have their thoughts and opinions, and then maybe ask some questions in between. If the interviewer is speaking more than the person that they invited, it may not necessarily be considered a good interview, in my opinion. I really enjoyed the interview and conversation. And overall, I think that Amber Rose made her case for who she is and who she's becoming. And even later on in the interview, they talk about some faith things. Definitely see the entire interview. Link will be in the description below. And shout outs to Candace Owens for an incredible interview. And I enjoyed it. And I'm going to link a video here. And until next time, take care.